Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is March 9th, 2024, and Barcelona have renewed their sponsorship agreement with Cupra. Also, PSG are very interested in signing Lamine Yamal. And speaking of Lamine Yamal, Ilkay Gundogan has expressed gratitude towards our 16-year-old starlet. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and before we begin with the news, just a quick reminder to make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment. All of this helps this channel continue to grow. Also, if you are looking for any Barcelona jerseys or merchandise, make sure you hit the kickback. And if you are looking to place any sports bets, make sure you hit the Bet Us. Both links for kickback and Bet Us are down below in the description. Now, I'll begin with the news that Barcelona have announced that they have renewed their sponsorship agreement with the automaker Cupra. Now, Barcelona started their relationship with Cupra back in 2019, and the club has now announced that they have extended this agreement until 2029, where Cupra not only will be sponsoring Barcelona for five more years, but also their sponsorship will now extend to all of Barcelona teams, so not just the football teams, but also the handball teams, basketball, etc. Now, part of this agreement, Cupra's logo will also appear on the right sleeve of the men's and women's football team jerseys, but only during the 2024, 2025, and 2026 summer tours. Now, given that Cupra's sponsorship will extend to more teams and will appear on the sleeves of the football jerseys during summer tours, Cupra has now agreed to pay more than what they were initially paying. They were initially paying Barcelona around 6 million euros per year. Now the sponsorship deal has increased, or the new agreement has increased the sponsorship deal to 7 million euros per season. So over 5 years, that's 35 million euros that Barcelona will make from their sponsorship with Cupra. And there are some variables and bonuses in the contract which could end up pushing the figure to 8 million euros per season, which means that Barcelona could end up making around 40 million euros from the automaker sponsorship agreement, which is of course great news for Barcelona, who continue to generate more and more revenues through sponsorship. As I've mentioned many times before, Joan Laporta has actually set a record for new sponsors for the club, where he has signed a total of 28 new sponsors for Barcelona as part of the board's efforts to increase the revenues of the club in order to accelerate the club's financial recovery. And speaking of good news, we now move on to the injury update of Rafinha, because as some of you might recall, during the match yesterday between Barcelona and Mallorca, Rafinha had to abandon the field after he received a knock on his ankle, which gave Barcelona a penalty kick, which unfortunately was missed by Ilkay Gundogan. But nonetheless, it's being revealed now that Rafinha is actually not injured, that he only had to abandon the field because it was a knock. He was feeling some pain. However, he has not been injured, and Rafinha is expected to be available for Tuesday's match against Napoli, the second leg of the round of 16 of the Champions League, which of course is great news for Barcelona, because Barcelona will need all of their available players in order to try to progress to the quarterfinals of the Champions League, which is a necessity for the club, not just from the sporting perspective, but also from the financial one, where Barcelona have budgeted to make it until the quarterfinals. And in order to meet that budget, Barcelona will have to beat Napoli on Tuesday. And speaking of yesterday's match, how can we forget that amazing goal scored by Lamine Yamal in the 75th minute, showing us once again what a generational talent he is. And speaking of Lamine Yamal, it's reported that PSG are seriously interested in signing him in order to replace Kylian Mbappe, who will be leaving the Parisian side by the end of the season, with his most likely destination being Real Madrid. Now, it seems that PSG have finally learned their lessons that no, you cannot just buy the most expensive players and expect that your team will become great overnight. They now understand that in order to do that, you have to build a project from the ground up. And as such, they have hired Luis Enrique with the aim that the Spanish manager could help them build this project. And as part of this effort to build the project, PSG are now in the market looking for players with potential, players with promise, players that could fit into Luis Enrique's vision in order to build that Champions League team, or a team capable of winning the Champions League, which is a goal that PSG have been chasing for quite some time. Well, it seems that one of the players that PSG are seriously interested in, and they think that will be a great addition to Luis Enrique's project, is that of Lamine Yamal. And it seems that Jorge Mendes had met with Joan Laporta a few days ago, where the two had dinner together in order to discuss Jorge Mendes' clients that are currently at Barcelona, and also to discuss the future of both Joao Felix and Joao Cancelo. And during this dinner, Jorge Mendes also notified Joan Laporta that PSG are very serious about signing Lamine Yamal in the summer transfer market. Now, of course, Joan Laporta let Jorge Mendes know that Barcelona have absolutely no intention of offloading Lamine Yamal. They understand that he's a generational talent. They consider him the cornerstone of Barcelona's project, and as such, they are not interested in offloading the young player. And it's actually the opposite, where Barcelona have already a pre-agreement with Lamine Yamal and Jorge Mendes to extend his contract even further. Of course, Barcelona just renewed Lamine Yamal's contract until 2026, which is the maximum allowed by law, because Lamine Yamal is still a child. He's under 18 years old. And Barcelona have now a pre-agreement in place that when Lamine Yamal does turn 18 years old, they're going to extend his contract even further until 2030, perhaps even longer. So Barcelona have absolutely no plans of offloading Lamine Yamal. They want to keep him at the club, and they want to keep him at the club for as long as possible. Now, of course, this is the correct decision, not only because Lamine Yamal is a generational talent, not only because he is an incredibly talented player, who, by the way, is only 16 years old, so it means that he's only going to get better and better and better. Players don't hit their prime until 25, 26 years old. So if Lamine Yamal is doing what he's doing right now at 16 years old, can you only imagine what he's going to be doing in 10 years? I mean, it's absolutely insane what we're seeing from this youngster. But again, I digress. It's not that Barcelona made the correct decision just because Lamine Yamal is generational talent, but it's also the correct decision because Barcelona are prioritizing the project over profits, which is the right thing to do, because once clubs begin focusing on the profits over the project and start selling and buying players just for business purposes, that's when teams fall off. So it's important that Barcelona continue to focus and prioritize on the project, because if they do, the profits will come anyway, because everyone wants to pay to see great teams play. People want to buy the merchandise of great teams, and sponsors want to sign with teams who are doing well or who are playing great football. And while we're still on the topic of Lamine Yamal, we will end today's video with the statements of Ilkay Gundogan, who posted on social media expressing his gratitude towards the 16-year-old. Now, the German midfielder said, "Well-deserved victory at home. Thank you for your support tonight. I owe you one, Lamine Yamal. Tuesday, great Champions League match for us. Visca el Barça." So bravo to Ilkay Gundogan saying, "I owe you one" to Lamine Yamal. I think this is the right attitude by a veteran, a player who knows that Lamine Yamal saved the team yesterday and also saved him too, because Ilkay Gundogan did miss that penalty kick. He also missed a clear chance that he had. And if it wasn't for Lamine Yamal, we could have probably dropped points. So Ilkay Gundogan acknowledging the fact that Lamine Yamal saved him and saved the entire team and saying, "Thank you, I owe you one," which is the right attitude, because Ilkay Gundogan is saying, "Look, I'm the veteran here. I'm the player with experience. I'm the one who has multiple years under my belt and has played at the biggest stage. I'm the guy who's making 10 times your salary. So I'm the one who should be, saving you. I'm the one who should be stepping up and winning the team, not you, not putting that responsibility on your shoulders to carry the team, to save the team. So thank you. I owe you one." So great statements by Ilkay Gundogan, as opposed to other veterans who all throughout the season have been actually using the youngsters as an excuse, saying, this team has a lot of young talent and that's why we're not performing. When it's actually the youngsters who have been performing way better than the veterans. It's the youngsters who have been keeping this team together and carrying this team on their shoulders. So Ilkay Gundogan acknowledging that and thanking Lamine Yamal, which is what the other veterans should be doing. So bravo to Ilkay Gundogan for his statements. Every time Ilkay Gundogan gets in front of a mic, he always impresses me with his statements. He always shows great leadership skills. And if anything, I really think that Ilkay Gundogan should be a captain next season. I mean, after all, we are going to have an opening because it's looking like Sergio Roberto will be leaving. And I really think that Ilkay Gundogan should be one of the captains, because every time, again, he makes a statement, He always shows his true leadership. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a like. Also, I would like to invite all of you to please leave a comment down below, giving me all your thoughts and opinions about all the news that I share with you. And finally, I would like to invite all of you to please subscribe to the channel so you can stay current on all the latest news in regards to our beloved club, FC Barcelona. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. And as always, peace, guys.